I know this is going to upset a lot of people in the fitness world, but what if everything you've been told about muscle growth is wrong? What if one man, who trained with just one set, was actually on to something, and nobody wanted to admit it? His name was Mike Mentzer, and his training style flipped the entire bodybuilding world on its head. You see, while everyone was grinding for hours in the gym, Mentzer claimed that the secret to muscle growth wasn't more, it was less, but harder. Today, we're breaking down his method, the science behind it, and asking the real question: was he actually right? Who was Mike Mentzer? Mike Mentzer was a pro bodybuilder back in the 70s and 80s. He wasn't just built, he was philosophical about training. His idea? Short workouts, maximum intensity, just one set taken all the way to failure. While other bodybuilders were living in the gym for 4 hours a day, 6 days a week, Mentzer would hit a full-body workout just a few times a week and still look like a statue carved out of granite. That shocked people. It went against everything the fitness industry believed. Imagine telling Arnold's crew at Gold's Gym back then, "Hey guys, I'm only doing one set today." They'd probably laugh you out of the room. But here's the crazy part. Mentzer still kept growing. And that made people start questioning everything. So what is his one-set method? Mentzer called his system heavy duty, and it was exactly that. Heavy weights, brutal intensity, minimal fluff. But here's the thing. It wasn't about doing less work just to be lazy. It was about doing the right work at the highest possible effort. He would pick an exercise, warm up, and then hit one single working set to absolute failure. Not kinda hard failure. After that, he'd rest and recover for days before training again. He believed volume was the enemy, that people were training too often, tearing their muscles down again before they even had a chance to recover. In his eyes, that constant inflammation was the reason most lifters never made real progress. So, yes, it was the perfect method in his eyes. But does actual science back it up? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Modern research actually backs up part of what he said. Studies show that training to failure, pushing your muscles to their absolute limit, can trigger strong hypertrophy signals. In other words, intensity really does matter. But here's the catch. One set isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. If you're new to training, or if you're not truly hitting failure, one set just won't be enough. The key to Mentzer's success wasn't the low volume. It was how brutally hard he pushed himself during that single set. Most people simply don't train that way. They stop when it gets uncomfortable. Mentzer didn't stop until his muscles literally couldn't contract anymore. And that's the difference. Most lifters think they're at failure when they've still got 2 or 3 reps left in the tank. Mentzer went past that point, into that painful zone where your body is begging you to stop. But you don't. That's the level of intensity where growth happens. Science now tells us that muscle fibers, especially the deeper fast-twitch ones, only get fully recruited near the end of a truly all-out effort. So if you never push that hard, you're never even tapping into your full potential for growth. And then there's recovery. His method only works if you're sleeping well, eating enough, and managing stress. Miss any of those, and that one set becomes a waste. When I first tried it, I remember finishing my first true set to failure and just sitting there, questioning my life choices. I realized that I'd never actually trained that hard before. It wasn't the weight, it was the mental barrier. The voice in your head that says, "That's enough," comes way before your body is actually done. And that's the biggest lesson this method teaches you, how to silence that voice and push past it. But don't mistake this for a shortcut. One set doesn't mean easy. It means max effort. You still need progressive overload, perfect form, and intensity that most people never reach. If you're half asleep scrolling between sets, this won't work for you. But if you can give 100% focus for that one brutal set, it can be a powerful tool. The beauty of it is simplicity. You walk into the gym with one mission: empty the tank. And that level of focus can actually make training feel fun again because every rep counts. Outro. So is Mike Mentzer right? In a way, yes. He proved that intensity can beat volume, but only if you're willing to suffer for it. Most people won't. But those who do usually end up with results that make everyone else question what they're doing wrong. So the next time you're in the gym, ask yourself, are you really training hard? Or are you just training long? Because sometimes, one brutal set can teach you more about growth than 100 easy ones ever will. One set can build muscle. But if you want to see how I take that same low-volume idea and turn it into massive triceps, Watch this next video. It'll change how you train arms forever.